Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build for the Fiendish and Fiery Succubus class mod in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a mod that was made by Neon Viper 44 here. It is available on console and PC, coming with two different subclasses. Now I covered a Fiendish one previously, which is more focused on enchantment, coming with its own unique cantrips here, but we also have the Fiery subclasses, more so focused on fire damage, which we'll be exploring today. So you get your shapeshift abilities, which will let you polymorph into a smaller medium humanoid creature. We get the Succubus command here, which uses our charm points, kind of similar to how a monk gets their key points to cast spells and upcast them. We also get our Burning Touch, the Rays of Fire ability here, which shoots a ray of 1d6 fire damage. We get the Fiery Charm, which charms humanoid into not attacking us as a bonus action. And we also get a fire damage resistance here. And for our ability scores, I think it's best to go with Charisma, as this can be added to our armor class later on. I also like to go with 16 Constitution and 14 Dexterity, although you can swap the Constitution and Dexterity scores if you prefer them this way. And make sure you have the skill Proficiency and Persuasion. At level 2, you get the Flame Step, which uses 2 charm points to dash and do fire damage in an area, kind of like a Misty Step. The Hell Crawler ability, actually from the Helldusk Boots, where that comes from. And the Draining Kiss, which you can attack a target that is hit with your Fiery Charm, and then recover health from it and get charm points back. And we also get the Hellish Rebuke ability here, which will use our charm points, which we get another one at this level. Now, once we get our way to level 3 here, we get another charm point as well as increased movement speed, and we get the Flaming Gaze, which can burn the target, the Fiery Blade bonus action, and the Flame Beam here, which is a 2d10 of fire damage. This one works kind of similar to Moonbeam, where you can teleport and move it around as you prefer. Now, once we get to level 4 here, we get our Song of Sleep. Creatures must do a wisdom saving throw or fall asleep. You can move and but not perform any actions while performing the song. So this is kind of nice. Sleep is actually underrated. It gives you free crits, kind of similar to Whole Person. There's not really many good sleep abilities in Baldur's Gate. Let's get the Heartbreaker here, which is a 1d8 of Psychic. This angers the target and makes them only focus on your character. And we get the Absorb Energy, so link yourself to a charmed target, absorb their energy, deal an additional 1d8 of Psychic damage each turn by activating the spell, and recover 1 charm point per use. We also get a feat at level 4, and I'd recommend Alert, or go with a Charisma-based increase. Level 5 gives us our Drain Mind here, which will do a 2d10 of psychic damage. If the wisdom stat is below 9, it can stun the target, and otherwise it'll reduce their wisdom stats, so it's actually really good. We also get the Charm Creature, which can prevent them from attacking you as a bonus action, and this will work on non-humanoids. We also get the Fire Eruption, which hits an area of effect and applies burning, and also does that 8d6 fire. And we get the Compel Creature. Compel any creature charmed by your power to fight alongside you for 1 turn. And once we get to level 6, we get our Mesmerizing Dance, perform an entrancing dance that mesmerizes enemies, and they are unable to take actions. We also get the Succubus Invigoration here, which is a 2d8 plus Charisma modifier healing, and expend energy to heal a creature you can touch. It's pretty nice. Healing's not really the best in Baldur's Gate 3, but it's good to have the option when you need it. We also get improved light footwork here, and the Infernal Chains, binding your target with an Infernal Chain that renders it unable to move, cast spells, or take other actions, and everything against it will have advantage. 3 charm points. We also at level 7 get the Field of Fire, which will create a fire eruption around us, and Conjure Fiery Ally, which is basically the same as the Cambion summon that you can get. Once we get to level 8, though, we get our Drain Life Force here, so you can drain this from a charmed creature with less than 50% of its remaining hit points, causing it to instantly die. And creatures who save take 1 to 10 psychic and recover 1 charm point on success. We also get the Wall of Hellfire here, which is 66 of fire damage, burning anyone who comes close, and it sears them with roiling hellfires. It's actually a pretty good ability. And for the next feat, I would recommend going with a Charisma-based increase, or go with an increase to our Constitution or Dexterity score, with Charisma obviously being the best choice. Level 6 gives us some more spells, the Ethereal Escape, which you can expend a reaction to go to the Ethereal Flame and protect yourself. We also have Control Mind, which makes a humanoid that's charmed by your power fight alongside you, and it makes a wisdom saving throw against that. And we also get the Cone of Hellfire, which is a 68 of fire damage and marks the ground in Hellfire, so pretty good for the crowd control there. Once we get to level 10, we get the Charming Defense, take half damage from all sources for 2 turns, and it's a full action to use. And the Control Creature, which is a full action use as well. Usually this is not that great of a spell to use, but lets you fight with a beast alongside you, so it's a little bit better. I meant to say Animal Friendship, not that great. Typically the beasts are not worth taking over in this game, but could be cool with this build. We also get Fly at level 11 and Domination Aura, which is controlling energy that makes all charmed creatures fight alongside you, and affected entities make wisdom saving throws against their domination. And upon hitting level 12, we get the Turn to Ash. So this is a 10d6 plus 40 fire damage, and basically similar to Disintegrate but fire. And there's the Unwavering Loyalty here, so force a humanoid charmed by your power to fight alongside you for 4 turns, which is pretty good. And for the final option we're going with for a feat here, I would recommend going with the Charisma Increase and Max it out. Now this mod does not have level 20 support, and the outfit mod that I'm using is the Armor of the Worthy by Scurvy with the Absolutely mod for the body. And as far as gear from the base game goes, now there's a few options that work really well. I like to go with obviously the fire setup here, so Kreska's favor from the Mark-Heshker staff and putting the fire on us is nice. Now what also works well is the Hat of Fire Acuity, which whenever we deal fire damage, we gain Arcane Acuity, so we do land our spells. It works out pretty good so that we get better use for charm points. And I got the Cloak of Protection. Now, I went with the Wave Mother's robe. It's the outfit that just feels the most correct on a build like this. And it does give us fire damage resistance, which we already have, which is not super ideal. But you could use the Ballast Armor if you want to set up your piercing damage teammates. But I honestly think that the Wave Mother's robe, or honestly, the Robe of the Weave would be the better option here. I'm going to go with this one, just because I feel like this fits thematically. And since we're not wearing any armor, we can then go ahead with like a mage armor here to buff up our character a little bit further and take the armor class a little higher. So that's not too bad. We also got the Luminous Gloves here. Now I'm rolling with the Coruscation Ring and Callous Glow Ring to add radiant damage, and then this will apply Radiating Orbs on the enemy. I'm going this route because Charm is not that great in Baldur's Gate 3, but we can use Radiating Orbs to make it less likely for the enemies to attack and deal damage to our teammates, which I think it makes it feel a bit more realistically. You could alternatively go with the Gloves of the Belligerent Skies there, as it's a good choice too. We also got the Boots of Stormy Clamor there to apply Reverberation since we're applying Condition. As mentioned, Marika-Heshker with the Fire version, and the Viconia's Walking Fortress here. And in addition to that, we got the Hellrider Longbow for the +3 to our initiative. Now we can start off by giving ourselves the Conjure Fiery Ally here, which is going to give us this Cambion here, which does have its attacks, which is, again, like the other Cambion, but a little bit weaker in terms of its effects, but still nice to have. And it's got Fiery Claws, which is a little different. Now for combat, I would recommend setting up a concentration like Wall of Fire early on. We do have other concentrations, so that's something to keep in mind that we do want to maybe save those for another option, but I think it's good to have a damage and something like this Hellfire Wall up because it's going to give us additional damage. It applies Radiating Orbs on enemies, and it takes out targets pretty quickly, so it also looks really cool too. We also get things like the Cone of Hellfire here, which is a pretty powerful ability, which you can see hits in a large area of effect, so if there's targets that are coming into contact with us just like this, we can go ahead and blast them as such. Just enough range here to hit all 3 targets. We're going to go with this here, as it can do a pretty good amount of damage. It took out all of them there, and if it didn't, it would have applied a bunch of debuffs. The Hellfire on the ground does a ton of damage, so just avoid that if all possible, because yeah, you don't want to get hit with Hellfire, but we're holding down the battlefield here. This also gives us our charm abilities here, so we can charm enemies. We also have the heat convergence too, which is great from the staff there. So this lets us go ahead with the fiery charm, which we're going to use on a couple different targets here. And you have to make sure that they're within range, but this is a bonus action ability. You don't have to select all of them there. I want to apply that on both of them, and they're now Succubus Charmed, which also applies Reverberation. We also get a Hellish Rebuke if you want to use your reaction to deal damage, but not always the best choice, especially if you get any Illithid abilities that let you counterspell. And that Hellfire does its job again. Now, the enemies will jump through this, and if they stand on that, they end up taking a ton of damage there. We also have fire below us now, too. We're very low on charm points, though. We kind of went through them quickly by using the Wall of Hellfire and our summon, which, unfortunately, our summon died so fast. Or, actually, no, our summon's right there. For some reason, the summon is not in combat. It's counting as it's not in actual fight. I don't know if it's missing the faction tags or what the deal is, but yeah, it wouldn't enter combat naturally like that, so it's kind of weird. But since we don't have the option for many spells at this point, we're kind of in a tough situation. We do have the Draining Kiss to recover that. It used our full action, though, so that's something to keep in mind. So I'm going to use that there to try and get another action or another point back. It also applied the Radiating Orbs. Now, we don't got, again, a lot of great options. I'm just going to drop the Fireball from the staff here to hopefully take out a couple more targets and also apply debuffs on the enemies. And then we got our Fiery Charm, which we can use again to charm more targets here. Although Charm not really being super effective, just because it just means they aren't attacking us. They can attack other targets as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, I got 3 targets right here I can use the cantrip against. Actually, we have a very low chance of hitting them. I'm not going to use that. If I didn't have the Wall of Fire down, I'd use that. I guess I'll just use the Mind Blast Illithid ability here just because I need to get these 3 targets down. Now, we also have things like the Drain Mind, which is a kind of interesting one on Wisdom attackers here. We do have a very short range of this, so just be mindful of that. It has 3 meter range. Now, we also got things like the mesmerizing dance, which are kind of cool because we could use this, although it will upset our concentration that we do have. I'm going to use it anyways just to show off the mesmerizing dance, because I'm sure people are curious. So we'll just go ahead with this, which then causes us to be dancing here, and then it's going to make all these targets just get charmed in watching the dance. So yeah, you can confuse them with this one. And then anyone that enters our range will end up getting watching the dance, and they'll end up getting mesmerized here. So that's kind of cool because it messes with them. They saved on it, unfortunately, and hit us with command. It's like the worst thing that could have happened. And thankfully this time we're not dancing, so we can use Sonic Dominance to stop that from happening. Stop it. Don't do that. Because that really did suck. No longer are we dancing. They succeeded on that wisdom save, unfortunately. But we only really have cantrips left, so we got to go use our Burning Touch here to hopefully take this target out. There we go. We're good. They can't counterspell us anymore. And then we may as well use the Rays of Fire here. I'm in a position to hit a couple targets. This may take them out. And we have 30% hit chance on all these, so I'll just go for him. And just hope for the best. Critical miss on both. Lovely. But I guess we can use the Fiendish Charm here on the 3 targets that remain, so they won't attack us. Kind of cool. And it also applied Reverberation on that target, and that gave them thunder damage with a bit of radiant damage, so further applied Radiating Orbs. Kind of a cool combination of the Boots of Stormy Clamor with the Radiating Orb gear now. They basically all just kind of skip their turns here, which works out great for us, because then we can follow it up with another Fire Touch. I'm just going to get this targeted so I can use some of the more powerful abilities. Critical hit, 40 damage, great. Then we'll finish off this target here, hopefully, just double beam, takes him out, perfect. And then we can go with the Fiendish Charm again and just hit that target one time. We can then also use our Absorb Enemy energy here. Since we don't have a concentration up, we can use that to be able to get our charm points back, which we can then use for some other abilities. I'm just going to use this ability again. Or I guess you can just, since we're channeling it, we can use it once more. So I'll just go ahead here again and hit them with it, finishing them off. So that is, again, the Fiendish and Fiery Succubus class mod by NeonViper44. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and we'll catch you all in the next video.